Wow. Wow. First and foremost, good morning, everybody. It's your boy Leo, and welcome back to the bird section. Oh, had to come up in here. Wanted to give y'all some early morning thoughts because I came across some stuff and was talking, and you know me, y'all know, like as the host of the bird section, for the most part, most of all my channel members know, and all my subscribers know, prior to last weekend, it had not been a good time. I hadn't had a good time being the host of the bird section because you all know that at the end of the day, what's right is right. And to be quite honest with you, this stage actually, the bird section stage actually, belonged to my Cowboy fan members, my Detroit Lion fan members, my 49er fan members. And it's just, oh man, you talk about it being rough. Shout out to Logan Motorsports, Tribe Called Quest, Linda Conyers, my man Fells. Thank y'all, CZ. Thank y'all for holding it down. My man Nate Edwards. They went and listen, all the people I just named and then some, Hamid Abdul Aziz, a lot of people. These are Eagles fans who had to take everyone's shit. Okay, seriously. But there's one in particular, there's one channel member whom I have to say is a debt of gratitude is owed, and a day of reckoning is what will be right. And that is one of my favorite channel members, bird section channel members, and that's our guy Philly 500. You know what I'm saying? Philly been, he's been preaching, man. He's been saying some things in the way, it turns out there's some things like I heard him on the Dan Salio show yesterday. He was cooking the shit out of Fart Holmes. You know what I'm saying? But the things that he was saying, not just about, Fart Holmes, but also what he was saying about Dan Salio. And he was, let's take a look at the film. I'm gonna show y'all what I was talking about, okay? Just so that y'all know what I mean. Now peep this, right? Listen to what he's saying, and then watch this. We're gonna watch this together. Now listen.
I went back and I watched my man Sills, and I watched him the day after the Raiders played Dallas and they won. Boy, the glazed Dak donut,
like
man! Oh, Dak was so impressive against the Raiders. No, then when it comes to the Eagles, oh no, I didn't see nothing there. See, you don't hold Jalen Hurts to the same standard, or Dak to the same standard.
Here's the difference. Here's the difference, though. I don't really think the Cowboys were a Super Bowl contending team. I think they got better.
Right.
I still think the Cowboys got better.
But you could praise him.
We're not putting the Cowboys in the same category as the elite teams in the NFC, are we?
Okay. Good. Y'all hear this, right? Now peep this. Peep this. This is from our guy, Philly 500. And he actually has...
Throw it as hard as you want. Go on. Watching it zip away feels like it might just keep going, right?
Okay.
Here we go! Here we go!
You want a war?
Suck on that, Henry. Troll-ass mother humper.
Oh.
How about Dak last night? Damn! Shows he only played the Raiders. I know, didn't Hurts have a perfect outing against the shitty Giants? I want you guys to do me a favor. Close your eyes for a second and just dream of a quarterback that could throw the ball like Dak Prescott last night. Holy cow.
Against the Raiders.
Even Vic Fangio said it today. You guys having an amazing year. What an amazing year. And that guy makes that offense roll. So before all you toolboxes start talking shit on Dak, and by the way, we're not in the postseason. We are here on November 18th in the regular season. So that conversation is stupid.
Exactly 1 month later.
This guy was great last night. 4 touchdowns. By the way, you know what's crazy? You say that Dak had a great game last night, and it's against the Raiders. You tell me that Jalen Stiff Arm Hurts has a great arm against the Giants, and you're like, wow, did you see what he did against it? Dude, he shredded that team last night.
Your Philadelphia Eagles are back in the win column. They win the game today 31-0 with a dominant offensive performance and a dominant defensive performance. I see Big Sills yawning, but I'll say this. You got to handle who's in front of you, and the Eagles handled their business today. They moved to 9-5 on the season and one step closer to winning the NFC East and getting into the playoffs here. Big Sills, welcome into the postgame show, host of the National Football Show. We'll talk to John McMullen later on. Make sure you follow Big Sills at Dan Sileo Show.
Dude, I'm not impressed with anything they did today.
No, I'm not either. But
except taking care of your business.
Well, and that's what you got to do. I pick a strike.
I am not impressed with anything that they did except for taking care of business.
He was right.
I'm not a glazed donut, dude.
Dude,
I'm not glazed doning anything. I'm not impressed.
You got to call a strike a strike.
I am not impressed with anything that they did.
He's a Dak glazed donut. He is Philly. And
I want to thank Mark for making my point. He just proved my point with his example because what he says about
you
just proved my point,
bro. We have gone against Minnesota, the Bears, the Lions, and who did I forget? And Green Bay. We fucking average giving up 38 points a game. 38 points a game.
Thank you.
34, 34, 40, and 44 points.
You proved my point, and I want to thank you.
Oh, that's quarter.
You proved my point. You've proved my point.
Obviously,
about
Mark
that
realized that he did.
Because what you just said, and what your big chief complaint about Hurts always is Hurts had the team around him. Hurts has guys around him. And okay, great. Okay, great. But listen, okay. Then you say Dak Prescott, he doesn't have those guys, right? And that's why he does.
On defense, he does.
Right. Okay. So that basically what you're saying is that can't be elite because Dak Prescott needs the same help that Jalen Hurts has to have.
Wait a minute.
Jalen Hurts has to have help to win. Well, Dak Prescott does too.
How about a 30 second?
As a rock, man.
Let me tell you something, Mark. We're talking about a guy's 10-year, 11-year career. Not talking about 1 year. We're talking about 10 years, not 1 year. My guy has been to 2 Super Bowls, and your guy does not win in pressure. And you get so worked up about the defense. But why don't you look at your quarterback?
Did you have 2 elite receivers and a tight end?
Facts.
Here we go. You notice my eyes are stuck. I was swinging so much around it got stuck. But this is what Dak sees. I now get it. See,
Shout out to
in
Philly
September,
Fire.
October, the eyes move nice and easy. But see, December comes, he starts to get nervous. The glances get stuck.
How can you blame that entire loss on him?
I don't blame the entire loss on him. But you tell me he's an MVP candidate. You tell me he's an elite quarterback. Then why couldn't he get his team like a Josh Allen and bring him down the field and keep that game close and keep that team in it? He can't come up in pressure situations. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.
Yep. It's called a home equity agreement.
Y'all, listen. You know what I'm saying? We obviously can tell at this point, at this juncture, that accountability is something that these Cowboy fans and closet Cowboy fans can't seem to grasp. Now, they like listening to over the last few weeks or what have you, the last month, Philly 500's been saying this stuff. And I mean, I got to be fair. You know what I'm saying? My man, this is where I think this is where I think the disconnect comes from, particularly when you listen to Fart Holmes, right? And Dan Saleo in this instance too, is that Fart has gotten really, really good at the redirect. Okay. And I think the disconnect came because Fart is adding defenses and stuff like that and saying, if we had the same defense that you had, we would be better off. Dak this, Dak that. And what Philly is saying is he's saying, screw all that. I am only talking about the QB position and how it's played and how it is critiqued by you and Dan Saleo over the last month, just in the most recent of history. Not the what Dallas's defense is looking like this year. That's a conversation, Fart, and you're absolutely right. That is a conversation, but that's not the conversation that Philly was trying to have with you. He was talking about just look at the QB position and only the QB position over the last 10 years. Is Dak Prescott skill-wise a better QB than Jalen Hurts? Can Dak Prescott throw the ball better than Jalen Hurts? Can Dak Prescott do all the QB things better than Jalen Hurts? Is his skill set better than Jalen Hurts? Yes, to a degree. Okay, to a degree. And you want to know why I say yes? Because Dak has been playing the QB position longer than Jalen Hurts. Okay, Dak has been playing, and y'all do realize that Dak came in the league in the same draft as Carson Wentz. Okay, and what Philly is saying is that look at the body of work at the QB position, playing the QB position. Who has a better body of work? And to be honest with you, it's Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has a better body of work in a shorter period of time. Okay, because Jalen Hurts has been to 2 NFC championship games. He's won 2 NFC championship games. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1 Super Bowl. He's become a Super Bowl MVP. And half the time that Dak has been playing the same position, okay? And the bigger the game, the more Dak has shrunk. And and I'll be honest with you, just keeping it all the way a buck. Philly's been saying that shit for a long time. But for him to put together that video and show, it's like, I think people ought to, and listening to the way Fart and Dan Saleo was talking, it's like, that's why you don't listen to nobody. That's why I don't listen to nobody no more. That's why I'm not listening to these talking pundits. That's why I'm not listening to these Cowboy fans, because they're not being genuine. They're actually being disingenuous when you throw out the defense. Ain't nobody say nothing about no defense. Philly didn't say anything about defense. He was talking about the quarterback and only the quarterback. You want to have a conversation about the defense? That is a conversation. And you're absolutely right in the things that you're saying in terms of your defense. But Philly was never talking about the defense. He was only solely focused on the QB position. And that's it. And you couldn't handle that. So I got to give it to Philly 500. A debt of gratitude from the Eagles fans to Philly 500 for bringing that up and setting the record straight. You know what I'm saying? You Cowboy fans, y'all got some. You know, like I'm starting to understand now, like that fan base is becoming fractured and splintered. And now I'm starting to understand why a lot of my Bird Section Cowboy fans are telling me that they can't stand that Fart Holmes is the representative for the Dallas Cowboys, such as he is, because they don't agree with, they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And wow. So shout out to Philly 500. You know what I'm saying? Good job, bro. Good job. And look, y'all, I'll be back later on. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna do a few more videos today. You know what I'm saying? Because we got a Saturday game. So we really got to get ready. And then I got to start putting things together for our next channel members call-in show. I'm hoping that I'll probably end up having Philly 500 come on. He'll probably be here because he definitely wants to connect with the rest of his Bird Section family as well. All right. And listen, y'all, if you haven't done so already, please take your asses on over to Philly 500's page and make sure you subscribe and like his videos, because I gotta admit, I to see that all put together, so like to put it edited the way he did it and the way he put it all together, it made shit make sense. And I was like, wow. You can't allow people like Fart Holmes and them to change to seize the narrative, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to maintain a narrative so that it distracts you from looking at just the one specific thing, and then they redirect you into thinking something else. And they change things around, just like, like they do with regular season stats and everything like that. Because they will tell you like Mark will tell you, Fart will tell you that it's much better to have scored 20 points and lost to the Green Bay Packers than it is for us to have scored 10 points and win. That's how they think. That's exactly how they think. You see what I'm saying? So with that, I'll see y'all later on the Bird Section. Oh, peace.